Miguel Bahena was more than just a name on an office door. He was a symbol of dedication, compassion, and hope for the people of Pisaflores. His presence was felt in every corner of the town, from the bustling markets to the quiet neighborhoods, where he made it a point to connect with everyone, regardless of their background or status. He was the heart of Pisaflores, Hidalgo, a leader who truly understood the needs and dreams of his community. Residents remember him not just as their mayor, but as a neighbor and friend who always had time to listen. As mayor, he walked the streets daily, greeting residents with a warm smile, listening to their concerns, and making their struggles his own. He believed that leadership meant being present and accessible, and he never shied away from difficult conversations. When devastating floods struck in October 2025, Bahena was among the first to respond. He led rescue efforts with courage and compassion, working side by side with emergency teams, and comforting grieving families who had lost everything. His actions brought hope and reassurance during the town's darkest hours. He championed sustainable development, believing that local government could truly change lives. Bahena pushed for projects that improved infrastructure, education, and healthcare, always striving to create opportunities for the next generation. Bahena was approachable, determined, and unafraid to tackle tough issues. He faced challenges head-on, whether it was addressing crime, advocating for social justice, or standing up for the most vulnerable in Pisaflores. His vision was a safer, more prosperous Pisaflores, where families could thrive, children could play without fear, and everyone had a chance to build a better future. He inspired hope and unity, bringing people together to work toward common goals. His sudden violent death left a void in the community he loved. The shock and grief were felt far beyond Pisaflores, as people mourned the loss of a leader who had given so much of himself. For Pisaflores, he was more than a leader. He was hope in action, a living example of what it means to serve with integrity and heart. His legacy continues to inspire those who believe in the power of community. His legacy is a reminder of what's at stake when violence claims those who serve. The empty office he left behind is not just a symbol of loss, but a call to protect those who dedicate their lives to making a difference. October 20th, 2025, began like any other day in La Estancia. A gentle sunrise, the distant sound of roosters, and neighbors greeting each other as they opened their shops. Life in this small Mexican town moved at a familiar, comforting pace, with people preparing for another ordinary day. But that sense of normalcy was shattered in an instant, as violence erupted without warning, sending shockwaves through the community. Mayor Bahena, a respected figure known for his dedication to the town, was traveling along a quiet road, accompanied only by a few close aides. He often refused heavy security, believing his people would protect him. But on this day, that trust was betrayed. Suddenly, armed assailants emerged from hiding, blocking the convoy and opening fire in broad daylight. The attack was swift and merciless. Mayor Bahena was killed instantly, and the gunmen vanished before anyone could react. The street, once a place of laughter and daily routines, was transformed into a scene of chaos and heartbreak. Police rushed in, sirens blaring, as bystanders wept and comforted each other in disbelief. News of the assassination spread like wildfire, reaching every corner of Pisaflores. Fear and uncertainty gripped the town, as families gathered around radios and televisions, struggling to process the tragedy. The community, already reeling from devastating floods just weeks before, now faced a new and unimaginable loss, one not caused by nature, but by the cruelty of men. Yellow police tape fluttered in the breeze, marking the spot where hope had been stolen. Forensic teams combed the area, searching for clues in a town haunted by violence. Who could have ordered such a brazen killing? What message were the killers trying to send? The search for answers began immediately, but the pain of loss lingered. For the people of Pisaflores, the mayor's death was not just a headline, it was a personal tragedy. Friends, neighbors, and families gathered for vigils, holding candles and sharing memories of a leader they admired. The mayor's office now stood empty, a stark reminder of what had been lost. The sense of safety that once defined Pisaflores had vanished, replaced by grief, fear, and a longing for justice. Investigators quickly suspected organized crime behind Bahena's assassination. In Mexico, drug syndicates often target mayors to control territory and silence opposition. These groups don't just traffic drugs, they extort, kidnap, and infiltrate local economies. Honest officials who resist become threats to cartel power. killing a mayor sends a chilling message: cooperate or face deadly consequences. Pisaflores, a rural trafficking corridor, is especially vulnerable to cartel influence. Bahena's commitment to his community likely put him in direct conflict with these criminal interests. His murder is a stark reminder that public service in Mexico can be a death sentence. No group has been officially named, but the pattern is clear. Violence, not democracy, too often decides who holds power. Bahena's murder was part of a grim trend, one that has cast a long shadow over Mexico's political landscape in 2025. The country is gripped by a wave of violence targeting those who dare to serve their communities, and the consequences are being felt in every corner of the nation. This year, relentless attacks on local politicians have become almost routine, with headlines reporting new tragedies week after week. The violence is not limited to one region or party. It's a nationwide crisis that has left citizens fearful and leaders constantly looking over their shoulders. Over 35 officials and candidates have been killed so far, a staggering number that underscores the scale of the threat. Each loss is mourned by families and communities, but the impact ripples far beyond the immediate victims. Most of these assassinations occur in rural areas, where criminal organizations operate with near-total impunity. In these regions, the rule of law is fragile, and cartels use violence as a tool to assert dominance and silence opposition. By targeting mayors, council members, and candidates, criminal groups are able to seize control of local governments. This strategy allows them to manipulate elections, intimidate voters, and ensure their interests are protected above all else. Each killing not only weakens democracy, but also terrifies entire communities. The fear is palpable. Honest people are discouraged from running for office, and public trust in the political process erodes with every attack. The violence is a direct assault on the rule of law, making it clear that those who challenge the cartels risk everything. Investigations are often hampered by corruption or fear, and justice remains elusive for many victims. In this climate, bullets often outweigh ballots. The democratic process is undermined when violence dictates who can safely participate in politics, and when fear replaces hope at the ballot box. Cartels orchestrate these attacks to secure trafficking routes, gain access to public funds, and expand their influence. Their reach extends from remote villages to the heart of government institutions. The murder of a mayor or candidate sends shockwaves through the entire political system, leaving citizens in mourning and officials questioning their own safety. Each attack is a chilling warning: defy us, and you'll pay with your life. The message is clear, and it reverberates through every level of government. Yet, despite the ever-present danger, some courageous individuals still step forward to serve. Their determination is a testament to the resilience of Mexican democracy and the hope that change is still possible. But in 2025, the cost of courage is higher than ever. For those who choose to lead, every day is a test of bravery, and the stakes have never been greater. Bahena's death was not an isolated tragedy. 2025 has been marked by a wave of political assassinations. In June, gunmen stormed a mayor's office in southern Mexico, killing the mayor and staff in broad daylight. Days later, another mayor was shot by suspected cartel members. Even Mexico City wasn't spared. 2 top aides to the capital's mayor were gunned down in May. Female leaders like Lilia Gema Garcia Soto in Oaxaca have also been targeted, highlighting the risks for women in politics. In Michoacán, 6 mayors have been murdered since the current administration began. Each killing tears apart families and communities, deepening the crisis. The message is clear: leadership in Mexico comes with a deadly price. While political assassinations surge, Mexico's overall homicide rate has actually declined. Between September 2024 and July 2025, daily murders dropped by 25%, reaching a decade low. Yet, targeted killings of politicians have spiked, revealing a shift in cartel tactics. Instead of widespread violence, criminal groups now focus on eliminating key officials to secure control. Killing a mayor is a surgical strike, efficient, terrifying, and effective. This battle is no longer just about crime, it's about who governs. Over 35 politicians murdered in 2025 shows the scale of the threat. The war for Mexico's future is being fought one leader at a time. After Bahena's murder, condemnation came swiftly from all political parties. The Green Party demanded justice and a transparent investigation, calling the killing a cowardly act. Federal and state authorities pledged resources and support, but public skepticism remains high. Promises of justice are common, but violence against leaders continues. Some arrests, like those after the Mexico City killings, offer hope, but most crimes go unpunished. There's growing demand for real reforms to protect officials and root out corruption. The violence threatens democracy itself, discouraging honest people from serving. Bahena's death is a stark reminder. Without security for leaders, there's no security for anyone. The murder of a mayor devastates more than just a family. It cripples an entire community. In Pisaflores, Bahena's death left a leadership vacuum just as the town was rebuilding from disaster. Fear spreads. If a mayor isn't safe, who is? People become afraid to speak out, report crimes, or participate in civic life. Trust in government erodes, and criminal groups tighten their grip. Fewer people are willing to run for office, leaving communities vulnerable to corruption or intimidation. Honest mayors are crucial allies in fighting crime. Their loss is a setback for security. Each assassination deepens trauma and weakens democracy. The cost of fear is measured in lost hope and stalled progress. Despite tragedy and violence, the spirit of the Mexican people endures. For every leader lost, others step forward, refusing to be silenced by fear. Citizens demand justice, journalists expose corruption, and activists build hope from the ground up. True change will require more than words. It needs real reforms, stronger institutions, and protection for those who serve. Investing in education and opportunity is key to breaking the cycle of violence. Unity across society is essential for lasting peace. The memory of leaders like Bahena inspires resilience and courage. Hope for a safer Mexico lives in those who refuse to give up. The road ahead is hard, but the nation's spirit remains unbroken. Mexico's future is still worth fighting for.